Hi everybody, this is Fresh, aka Blue Phoenix. I'm going to be doing a quick review actually on two different vocal sample libraries that I've really gotten a lot of use out of here lately. The first one is called Voices of Passion by Eastwest. Oh, I'm going to get my face out of the way. And the second one is it's called Voices of Gaia by Soundiron. That is not the page I want to show you. It's the Francesca Genco library. So I'm going to be going through both of these and kind of the pros and cons of each one. Move my face down here a little bit. So I'll start with Voices of Passion here. So Voices of Passion, it uses this play as the plugin. And it's a sampler here with some various things on here. So I can play various things here. So right now I have the legato O loaded up. What that means is as I go between notes, it will kind of glide, sort of naturally sounding. Kind of hard to hear, isn't it? Let's turn that one up. But basically, it's a pretty good, pretty nice sounding vowels. So those are not built-in effects. That is actually a Ether 2C on reverb. There is a built-in filter here. It's not very good. It's okay, but I find it fairly useless, so I don't use it. There's also a built-in reverb that is not great. It's okay. I'll turn that up some. We're in a church. It's okay. There's actually a lot of choices here. But I tend not to use it. I prefer my Ether. But anyway, it's also built-in delay, and you can change, of course, your attack and release as well. So that's one of the 5 voices you actually get here with Voices of Passion. There are 5: America, Bulgaria, India, Syria, and Wales. I'm actually just going to show you Wales here. That's what I've worked with the most myself. So here's actually one that's more like sustained vowels, and you can kind of create pad sounds out of it. Close this down. And what this patch is doing here, it actually has a key switch down here, these lower notes in blue. So it'll actually change which sample it's going to play. So it's these little notes down here are going to change the vowel. So it's actually got a very nice, very sweet sound. I like the samples in this library a lot. They're pretty good. Alright, so we'll go ahead and stop that. And it also has words in it, so let me show you what that's all about. It's actually got a pretty good selection of words. And gotta go up an octave. Let's turn that up some. Let's see here. Hope you're not hearing the Jedi here. It's not really a word, is it? This should be breathe here. So the only problem I have with the words are they're not legato. They're kind of, it sounds bad when you change notes. It just doesn't sound natural at all, and it's kind of a limitation there with the word elements. But still, there's a lot of material there. It's not half bad, and the samples in this library are excellent. I do have a few problems. I just don't like this plugin very much. I guess I don't know why. It just there's not a lot of features here. I mean, you got your envelope, you got a few things here that you can do with it, but overall, it's a pretty basic sampler, and you couldn't really go in there and load your own samples alongside it, or the effects are very minimal. There's also a time for a while where it was getting glitchy. Especially on those key switches, it would just drop notes on me. See if I can reproduce that problem. But it tends to happen more with higher CPU use. Obviously, there's not a lot going on here, and so it's just kind of working. I think if I go in here and just unload these, and then load them again. No, that's not really, that's not going to cause it to happen, is it? I'm just dropping notes because the libraries weren't loaded. Yeah, it's working okay now, but for a while there, I was working on a track called, I think it was Dream Forest, and it just kept glitching, so like it would change the chords, and it would go, there'd be like a little spike in noise, and it was very annoying. So I had to freeze my track, start over, and it was very annoying. The other con to using Voices of Passion is the iLock key. So I just unplugged it. It's this thing here, and I don't know if you can read that. It's probably upside down. They should have called it Loki. Same letters. But you gotta pay $50, and you have to have this plugged into your USB port in order to actually use the plugin. If I now go load another instance with this unplugged, I should see it crap out on me. Oh no, it worked. I guess once you have the Ableton session going, you can unplug this and you're fine, which is a little bit better. But yeah, the iLock key is $50 on top of your purchase of Voices of Passion, which I believe is currently selling for $200. It's really not a bad deal. You get 5 voices out of it, and the samples are very nice. I just don't like the plug-in that much. All right, so I'm going to move on to the Soundiron's Voices of Gaia. It's very nice. So you have similar legato vowels. And I am way too, let's see, move this down an octave. That might be a bit quiet. Let's turn that up. So the sound samples in this library, also excellent sounds. I really like the quality of her voice, Francesca. It's kind of sorrowful. The voices in Voices of Passion are more kind of emotional, I guess. I don't know, they're a little bit happier and cheerier and more sweet. But Francesca sounds kind of sad almost. I feel like the legato on the vowels are a lot more natural sounding in the Voices of Gaia. We do that on Voices of Passion. See, that didn't even legato at all. I might be too far. So the range of the legato is better on the Voice of Gaia, and it sounds a lot more natural. It sounds like it's one continuous note and not just a bunch of little notes strung together. Of course, you can also make similar pad sounds in Voice of Gaia. And let me open that one up here. It also supports key switches, which is great. So you can do you can use key switches down here in another octave to switch between the different samples. You can see here it's going from ah to O and There's a lot of great options here too. So you can switch over to a legato if you wanted to. You have to have it off for chords. Unfortunately, I don't think you can use polyphonic legato in this particular library, but there's different play modes. There's 2 microphones. You can actually turn these on and then pan them, and it will add sort of a chorusy effect. You've also got the mod wheel will affect volume. So that gives you a little bit more control over the sound coming out, of course. And you can change where the sample starts, how long the release is, intensity of the legato pitch bend. Okay, well this one isn't in legato mode. So there's a lot of great options available. Also, let me show you, there's built-in effects for this library as well. I think it's just harnessing the power of Contact to do that. So if you look at the FX rack, you've got chorus and delay and reverb. So this is actually using the built-in FX of Contact. Sounds a little bit quiet. Let me... So the cool thing here about this library, you get a bunch of phrases that you can... they're not real words. Apparently Francesca just kind of ad-libs these. And you can actually switch between the phrases, switch keys mid-phrase. And you can select the key that it's going to be in. So, like if you wanted to, if your song was in E or B. And then the different keys are going to select different phrases. So that is using the built-in contact, reverb, and delay. If I turn those off, I can put ether on this and use that as well. It is handy having that chorus built in, and it actually works pretty well. It's a nice sounding chorus. If I turn it off, you can see it's totally mono here. As soon as I turn that chorus on, it adds some stereo effects. So that's always a good thing to have. So Voices of Gaia is, I think it's normally $120, maybe $140. Soundiron is having a 25% off sale this week until April 20th, 2015. So if you want to take advantage of that, you better hurry. They've got a lot of great libraries out there, and I'm probably going to go get a few more. You can also stretch these, so if that's too slow for your track, really slow. And that's just using, again, Contact's time stretching powers, the time machine they call it. So I definitely recommend the Voices of Gaia Francesca. It's a pretty awesome library. It's got a lot of features, and the samples are just phenomenal. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about there. I guess the only con here with Voices of Gaia is you do have to have Contact. You might be able to get by with the free version, the Contact Player. I'm not 100% sure on that, but check on that. If you don't have Contact, you could probably get Contact Player and go use this library.